cold wind whipped across a moon-bare plain, each grain of dust a whisper of survival. The sun, low and blood-red, cast long shadows of ape-like humans. Early hominids crouched at the edge of the forest, muscles tensing, hearts pounding. Because the Ice Age chill threatened their bones, they were forced to move. Because fierce beasts prowled in the gloom, they were driven to cooperation. Their voices rose in silent fear and urgent instinct. Their footprints imprinted in mud told a story of hunger, of hope, of a world that would not wait. And so they pressed on into dark forests, across roaring rivers, beneath ancient storms, each sunrise a gamble, each breath a victory. This is their story. The world the early hominids inhabited was a savage masterpiece of ice and stone, of thunder-torn skies and quaking ground. Ice sheets ground continents, glaciers licked at valleys, and the forests trembled under relentless winds. The ape-like humans moved like shadows through this shifting landscape, their fur-draped bodies shaded against sleet, their eyes scanning for shelter in a cave mouth that felt like the womb of possibility. The roar of storms filled their ears, and the frozen air stung their lungs. In the face of raw nature's indifference they learned, stay hidden or be swept away. In the forest's edge they crouched, ape-like humans poised like ghosts among ferns and ancient trees. Bronze twilight filtered through the limbs as they gathered root and berry, their hands trembling with anticipation. Then, the cry, horns in the distance, a deer sketched in the amber dusk. They rose and stalked, spears carved from bone and flint in trembling fingers. Their hearts hammered, the world held its breath. When the deer fell, gasp and relief flooded the group, meat to fend off starvation. But the forest did not yield easily. Gathering yielded toxins, bruises, hunger. They learned to walk softly, to pause with breath held, to give thanks in chants that echoed the tribal unity blossoming from survival. A massive dire bear thundered through the underbrush, ape-like humans froze, torches in hand, shadows roaring. They faced the beast, spears raised, hearts forging courage in the flickering light. The creature's roar rent the air, claws swiping at raw flesh, the stench of fear thick as blood. They fought, clashing, stumbling, screaming. One of the early hominids fell, his cry a tragic music in the dark. But the rest pushed on, drove the beast back, its blood staining the earth like scarlet testimony of their defiance. In that violence, they learned the cost and the valor of survival. In a trembling moment, one early hominid struck flint against stone, a spark leapt, caught dry grass, and the first flame flickered. The world changed. Ape-like humans gathered round the warm glow, their eyes reflecting the dancing light, their bodies relaxing from tenseness. The crackle of fire became a heartbeat of hope. It drove away the night's terror, the eyes in darkness, the howls of beasts. It warmed their bodies, cooked their meat, knit their tribe closer. They learned to tend it, to feed it, to build hearths inside caves that once offered only cold. With fire they carved their place in the world. Huddled around the embers, the early hominids touched one another's shoulders, shared the warmth, and whispered stories in the flickering orange glow. Ape-like humans learned that together they stood stronger, one spear, one watch in the night, one shared meal. They formed bonds deeper than sheer hunger, trust, sacrifice, grief, laughter. A hunter returned with a wound, another carried his burden. They healed him, cheered him, mourned the losses. Under ancient stars, they danced in rhythm with drum-like logs, their shadows reaching out like roots in the earth. This unity became their shield. The early hominids learned to shape stone, bone, and wood, creating spears, knives, scrapers. Their hands, calloused and stained, shaped the future. Ape-like humans sat by riverbeds, peering into quartz seams, selecting flint for edges. They built traps pits camouflaged with branches, snares hidden in tall grass. They planned raids on herds, devised lookout positions, tested tactics beneath ancient sunlight. Strategy became as critical as strength. Their world was harsh, but their minds sharper still. The carved arrowhead glinted in torchlight, it promised possibility. The climate shifted. Valleys flooded. Mammoths thudded into the plains, then vanished. Predators multiplied. Disease crept. The early hominids, ape-like humans, faced moments when the very act of breathing felt like rebellion. Their hearths flickered low, their memories filled with those lost to frost or famine. And yet they held on. They moved across continents, adapted, learned new foods, new strategies. In the dying embers of one world, they lit the spark of another. Their survival was not guaranteed, it was fought, hardened, earned. From the bone-scarred plains of prehistory to the humming cities of today, the legacy of the early hominids endures. They taught us that fire is more than warmth, that tools are more than stone, that unity is more than shelter. Their struggle for survival, etched in every scar and spear mark, resonates in our veins. Modern humanity inherits their resilience, the same flickering spark of hope, the same breath held before the storm, the same courage to step into the unknown. We are their story continued. And in that unbroken chain of life, we remember, the harshness they endured prepared us for our own triumphs, and the flame they kindled still burns within us all.